Hey everybody, it's Ask Rad and Friends, and today I have the amazing Valerie Camozzi. So Valerie, you are a healer in virtually every way conceivable.
That's interesting. Never thought of it that way.
So why don't you tell people about what you do, about the methodology, not the mythology, the methodology.
I like the mythology. That
it could be both, of healing that you created, and tell them all about that.
Okay, well, it was a very interesting journey, and it started in about 18 years ago. And it just evolved and evolved and evolved. And I didn't know what to call it. It's energy healing, and it's using frequencies and vibration and light, color, and sound, and how that works in the body. Now, tell that to a registered nurse. That did not fit into my picture. I was working in neonatal newborn intensive care, and I was happy in my job and loved the preemies and intense work, but definitely very, very fulfilling. And when this other stuff started coming through, no way. I just rejected it until I couldn't anymore. And I started having a lot of experiences in awake time. And it's not really something that you tell your colleagues, the medical staff, because they would get the white coats out. So things were happening. I didn't know how to explain it, but I started recording it. And I recorded all of it. And it was happening frequently. So before I tell you what light resonance healing is, let me tell you quickly about the journey. Two really significant things that came up, and I said, okay, I really have to pay attention. Okay. And one was I was driving to the hospital that I worked at, and I was on the road, and it takes about an hour to get there, 45 minutes, an hour, if there's no traffic. And the time I leave, there's no traffic. But if you can get there, there's no way mileage-wise, or unless you went 100 miles per hour, you could get there any quicker. Well, I was on my way to work, and I take 3 different freeways. I was on the first freeway, and something started to happen. And I was seeing all this light. And all of a sudden, there was a Big Mac truck on the side of me, and there was a string of light going from the truck to my car and me. Mm-hmm. And I thought, that's interesting. Couldn't put it into perspective, but it's interesting. And then I'm driving, and I'm going 65 miles per hour. On the other side of the freeway, now physically, this is impossible in physics. I don't know how it could happen, but there was a car going in the other direction, and I could see every detail of the man's face, what he was wearing in the car, and I noticed a string of light going from his car to my car and me. And then the next thing was crazy. There were like billions of strings of light. All of a sudden, there was no car, no me, no body, no cars beside me, only strings of light. Now I'm on the freeway going 65 miles per hour. Did I crash and die? I don't know. I had conflicting.
I know. Not that long ago. I'm pretty sure you're alive.
Yeah, that's true. We've known each other for a long time.
Right.
So it was bizarre because I felt total bliss and petrified at the same time, because I didn't know what was happening, because all I could see, I couldn't see my car. Where are my hands? Where's my body? Nothing. And when my vision came back, I was 3 blocks from the hospital. Now, I had no way of absorbing what just happened. I walk into the hospital, and I am like, the whole ride took me probably 10 minutes to get there. And I walk into the hospital. I'm so early for my shift. No one's there, but one of the doctors was in there, and he goes, "Honey, you don't look so good." And I couldn't even talk. I was like catatonic. And I just laid down on the couch until people started coming in and my shift started. I worked a 12-hour shift, taking care of really sick babies. I was present. I was there. But at the end of my shift, I didn't want to get back in the car because I didn't know what might happen.
Right.
So things had been happening before that, and I just discounted it. You know, it's kind of like, you know, Rad, when people connect with angels and things, they go, am I really hearing this?
Right.
And yeah, you are really hearing it. And are these things really happening? Yeah, they are happening. Well, being the nurse I am and wanting scientific data, I did have a CT scan just to make sure I didn't have a brain tumor. And I had an MRI, and not telling anybody what was going on. And they were all negative. There was nothing. So, but things started happening very rapidly after that. And they went on for years. And I was starting to get a little burned out about it, around it. But then I found a really good mentor who said, hey, you could tell them you're in a human body, tell them to cut it out, you know, to go slower. And I forget, we all have that, you know, with our angels and everything. Like, come to me in meditation or come to me in dream time. We can ask, we have the power. So that was going on. I was getting a lot of information. I was recording it, didn't know what it meant, didn't know what I was going to do with it, but I kept recording it. One night I woke up, I saw Einstein blackboard, and I always try to wake up my husband. I don't know if you do that, Rad. I always try when I say no. No. Well, I tried to wake him up, you know, and I'm tapping him and shaking him to see it, but he never wakes up. So I'm looking, and here's this huge chalkboard with all these equations and calculations on it. And all I remember saying is, not in this lifetime, you know? And then the blackboard went away. But the other thing that happened was I saw the words light resonance. Imagine a neon sign all in lights, and it's spelt out in capital letters, light resonance. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. Try to wake up my husband. He's not waking up. So I put my hands through it and went back and forth to see if it would move or go away, and it wouldn't. So I wrote down, I had many pieces of paper and journals by my bed by this time. So I just wrote down the two words, light resonance, and went back to sleep. Thought it was a great dream until I saw the words written down, light resonance. And then the rest was kind of history, because they were showing me that I need to share this. I never had a business card. I never put this out to the public. I did not have a website. And yet all these people were coming to me, finding my name, wanting this energy healing.
So what's it like? What is it like to the retriever?
Good question. And it's interesting because I've worked like the San Francisco New Living Expo, masses and masses of people. And I love Reiki practitioners. I've never taken Reiki, but I've experienced receiving it. And I would have a lot of Reiki masters come up and go, well, tell me what this is. And I want to know exactly how you're doing it. And I said, you know, the best thing is just experience it. And then you tell me. So what I hear from clients is pretty much the same. Number one, it just feels different than Reiki or quantum touch. They say it feels like a very gentle, but they feel vibration and frequency going through their body. And when I teach it, I do tell people, you will see people move quite a bit in certain areas of their body, and that's where the frequencies are going through, but they won't remember it, and they won't be aware of it. And so that's what happens. It's just a very gentle, beautiful energy healing. And it uses frequencies you already have in your body, and then sound outside your body.
So, but you've been teaching this for a while now, right?
Yeah, I even taught it in your home state. Yeah.
So, are Are, do you have classes coming up for that in particular?
You know, that's a good question. I'm putting a class together this summer,
Okay.
but I haven't posted it yet. So
Okay.
people will have to stay tuned for that.
Okay.
But it's wonderful. I have people coming from all over the world to take it when they sign up for the course. And that's exciting because you develop this community.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that you're known for is Peru. And I do think you've got that coming up, right?
Well, interesting you say that. My last trip that I organized and took a group with my dear friend and colleague, Michelle Pillen, she is going to run it this year.
Okay.
And she's at sacredcirclejourneys.com. And she and I have run trips together. An amazing person. Now, having said that, I might be going on that trip, which will be fun for me because I've led trips since 2001 to Peru, and now I get to be a participant on the trip. So I'm kind of excited about that. But then another thing came up to Peru, and I don't know why, but I was contacted by the quantum healing hypnosis technique CEO, Julia Cannon, Dolores Cannon's daughter,
Oh, wow.
to put a trip together for them. They're going to be teaching a level 2 class in Peru.
Wow.
So I might be going twice.
Well, those aren't big shoes to fill, Dolores Cannon.
She was amazing. I was very, very fortunate to
study with her.
Do advanced study with her. And I've done advanced study with Julia too, who's a wonderful teacher. Cool. So it's exciting.
It is. It sounds exciting. So before we wrap up, I wanted to also ask the other side of the question. What is it like to be the person giving resonant light healing?
Well, you know, you ask a powerful question. The healer gets a healing. There's just no doubt. You're the facility for the energy facility. I like that. Facilitator for the energy moving through you. And so you get very energized. I don't recommend doing it at nighttime because you get very, very energized. And it's beautiful for the facilitator because with the frequencies going through you to the client, it's just a win-win. It's a beautiful process.
Well, and you got to bring that into the world.
I think it's been here for many, many, many years, and I think we're tapping into it. For example, I love receiving Reiki. I think they're just different frequencies people are using for different modalities, whatever they're aligned with. And I think it's benefiting us, and it's benefiting the community and the world.
Someone just posted, "Oh my God, I live in your area, Valerie, in Novato, and I've been to Peru. It would be so cool to connect with you in the San Francisco Bay Area." So you can answer that if you want.
Absolutely. Yeah, I connect with people all the time. I love sharing ideas and getting together and, coffee shop or whatever and just connecting. I do a lot of free classes too for people. I take them through quantum healing hypnosis group regressions.
Oh, cool.
And those are fun. And I do that once a month usually. So
what is that? Tell us what that is exactly.
Oh, quantum healing hypnosis therapy. It's a beautiful technique developed by Dolores Cannon over about 45 years. I know we're probably coming close to time. So do we have
Go ahead.
3 more minutes? Okay.
Sure.
So she developed it over a practice of over 50 years. And I had heard about Dolores Cannon from a mutual colleague of ours, Rad, for many, many years. And, it always stuck with me, but I never aligned with when I could go to a workshop or event that she was having. And then finally I knew it was time. And I'm glad I did advanced training with her because she passed away 3 months later. Phenomenal woman, absolutely phenomenal. So quantum healing hypnosis therapy, in that the practitioner is facilitating connection with source through either whatever you want to call it, higher self, the divine. There's so many names, higher consciousness, universal consciousness. And the practitioner is facilitating that connection for the client to get answers to questions, there's been tons of instantaneously healings, but it's all self-healing because it's the person's higher self that is doing the healing. And it's phenomenal. People that feel, it starts out with a past life regression, and then it's an adventure because you don't know where the higher self's going to take you. Some people some people experience lives on other worlds, other planets. You know, it's very, very interesting. When we come in and we incarnate on Earth, we are disconnected from that information so we can live our life the fullest, the current life. But the higher self has a brilliance beyond that will take the person to whatever life holds information for them that they can use in their current life to facilitate healing, to resolve issues they may have. If they have questions or if they've had experiences, I wish I knew about this when I was having my experiences, because when you have experiences or things happening, or you feel stuck, or you're having relationship challenges or themes, quantum healing hypnosis therapy helps you connect with your higher self to get answers about that. And it's such a wonderful, incredible process that people get all that information, get to heal and move forward.
Well, Valerie, thank you for being with us on Ask Rad today. And we will post inside of this this video feed ways for people to get in touch with you on Facebook and also your website. And this will also soon be on YouTube. So before I go, I do want to tell people that my new Angel Oracle certification course is coming online. I'm going to be teaching it in Chicago and several other places that I can't announce yet because I don't have the permission of the event producers yet. But we are going to be teaching it in Denver in April. And we're trying to get a feel for how many people would be interested in being a part of that. The first time it will ever been taught, and we're trying to figure out how big a space we need. So if you are interested in my new Angel Oracle certification course, you will find a post on my Facebook page that says Denver Survey, tells you all about the course, and you can kind of take a look at that and see how much that tickles your fancy. And also check out Valerie's Facebook page and her website. Thanks so much for being on, darling.
Thank you, Rad.
All right. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye, guys.